Hello there. I just wanted to add or clarify some things about Joker 2. There's only so much you can recall and say while sitting in a hot car just baffled out of your mind. It's like it gets worse and worse as you think about it. I almost forgot how absolutely pathetic Arthur was in this, and him being so passive. All the discussions and aftermath is just crazy. I didn't think I'd make another video about this, but I felt compelled to. Turns out I did have a lot more to say, and hopefully it's the last. I might as well say it now before this movie fades away, and every once in a while it'll be mentioned for the dumpster fire that it was. And also I just want to say thank you to everyone that subscribed to me and watched the video. Whether you liked the video or not, whether you agreed with me or not, I really appreciate the interaction. This is one of those unifying moments in media. So first I want to talk about what happened here, what possibly went wrong with this movie, the whole fandom issue, criticisms, and then I wanted to express a possible way the sequel could have been better. And I mean better as in it could have been written better, with the goal of forcing Arthur to be accountable and break him down. Not that I agree with going that route, but I think there could be a better version of that story. I'll put some timestamps in, don't worry. I was going to get into some of the reports out there regarding what happened with this, but many are doing just fine just rummaging through articles and whatnot already. I really don't think I need to rehash all that. I don't know, it's really not my thing, honestly. But it seems like it's a lot about who's to blame. Was it Todd Phillips, Joaquin Phoenix, Warner Brothers Studio? Whose idea was it? Who showed up begrudgingly to set? Who refused to work with others or whatever stupid drama may have happened? In all honesty, I don't care. Whatever happened between 2019 and now for this movie is done and it's out there. The movie should speak for itself. So we get it. You hate the Joker. You hated what it became. You hate the people that liked it. Got it. I really didn't want to bring this up, but it's really annoying hearing people repeating the same talking points about toxic fans and using blanket statements regarding who are the kinds of people that loved the first Joker. What are the gripes with the fans, honestly? Are there insufferable fans? Probably. Many fandoms can be, that's just a given. Someone is passionate about something, they like to discuss it. And here I'm talking about the Joker as a whole, not just the first movie. He's an intriguing character. And this first movie was a success, but there was a lot of people that did not like Joker. You want to hit back at all the people you perceive as the fans, yet you end up isolating everyone. I've met people that simply enjoyed the first one, just average people. Joker was liked for a variety of reasons. The cinematography, the music, the atmosphere, the message, the interpretations, the acting, the references, how it made them feel, so many different reasons, and from people from all walks of life. Don't tell people they're wrong for liking it and assuming the reason. Why are there some people online that are just being assholes or something about it? Like, okay, that doesn't represent everybody. I even met someone that didn't even see the first Joker. He still didn't like the second. There are people that really didn't care much for the first and still didn't like the second one. You deem that the entire fan base for the movie were a certain type of way, which again is wrong. You were the ones that made it in the first place. For someone that claims that they didn't want to make a comic book movie, you still added some references in there, huh? I'd say even more than the last, but I digress. It's honestly embarrassing to hear that people think this cultivates or promotes the ideas of a dangerous, mentally ill man. Like, that's just beyond stupid. Where did you hear that? Twitter? Some article? People go to the extremes to mischaracterize masses of people. Like, yeah, maybe some people have grievances with their life and society. Who are you to dictate that? How someone may understand a villain? It happens all the time, but that doesn't mean you agree with them. That doesn't mean there's inherent evil lurking within those who happen to like a certain character or movie. Do good movies focused on a bad guy or the criminal element not exist? Just stop with this. You see, I have to go out and interact with people, unfortunately. So these kinds of narratives are just pure divisive nonsense to me. Show me how this horrible opinion or person is affecting your everyday life, and don't show me some stupid internet bullshit. Back to the actual happenings of the movie. So yeah, Harley, the Joker's followers, they are a representation of the audience, the fans. At least this is how the creators of the movie think that this is how the people that loved Joker are. And again, may I remind you that some people just loved the movie and not necessarily Joker or Arthur. Arthur wasn't the fantasy, he wasn't playing along, and Harley and others left him. I didn't see any growth between Lee and Arthur. They talked to each other for like 10 minutes and Arthur was just smitten for some reason and hooked. I know, she's a girl, ooh. I'm sorry, but they had no chemistry. And so nothing happened, no progression, no escalation, nothing learned. It was just very repetitive. When there are musical numbers in a movie, the music most of the time helps along a story. It should guide the audience or express feelings. This was all expression in cover song form and it didn't assist in the story. And I'm not the only one that pointed that out. Pull yourself away from everything you know about the first one. How would you feel about this one? And I do think you can do that because they rehash almost everything that occurred in Joker. This, as a standalone movie, in my opinion, still wasn't good. It still didn't work. It was longer for no reason. Take out all this singing. How long would it be? It filled up time that could have been used for an actual story. What's the overall conflict? What was the end goal? And you can say this movie is a joke. Don't you see? It's all a big joke on everyone. That's what it's meant to be. And yeah, okay, I'll bite. That's a way to look at it. Fine. It's still not a good movie. Take away the first one. Imagine it as a one-off. Is it still a good story? It's off-putting to say the least. And yes, I can try and look at it objectively, not thinking about my thoughts on the first one, and for me, it was still not enjoyable. It was simply not written well. So, I want to try and share what I think could have been a better movie. Again, a sequel was not needed, but here we are. We watched Arthur transform into Joker. It was a process and it felt inevitable. Whether he killed himself or not at the end, what he did still happened and shaped him. You can't forget that. Todd Phillips, Joaquin Phoenix, whoever, hated what they created. They wanted to backtrack for whatever reason. Fine, let's stick with this premise. And let's assume they were taking this very seriously and still passionate about it. And they didn't see this as a joke. And I know not everyone will agree with this, but if you're gonna go this route and undo Joker as a statement, then why not make it more fascinating? Instead of having a hissy fit and really jamming in insults to viewers and on Arthur, you could have written a film where Arthur actually deals with the consequences of his actions. Imagine what could have been, the conversations, the internal struggle within himself, Arthur in prison or an asylum wrestling with this, always going back and forth regarding what he's done. We see him talking to a psychiatrist, lawyers, etc. Does he even want help at this point? Hear me out. I know it's a crazy idea, but maybe, just maybe, you write a good movie. Maybe you still tell the story of, no, you guys got it all wrong. He's not to be worshipped or loved. He's just a man. A very sick, flawed man, but in a more intriguing way. He could still make friends and enemies. He could cause chaos within the prison, which may trickle outside. He delves into his Joker persona as that admiration becomes stronger. But for what purpose? He spends his time in prison, observing the pandemonium he is causing. It seems to be getting out of control, out of his control. How are these people connecting to him? Does he know? Do they really care about him? How does he feel what others may be doing on his behalf or being inspired to do? Is that what he ever wanted? He thinks to himself, what was it again? What was it that I really wanted in my life? He can try to speak and lecture and control his audience, but it falls on deaf ears. It's gone too far. So again, how does it really make him feel? He's never felt so alone. He has to sit there isolated once again in his life. He must think about everything he's done. He sits in the courtroom and sees the pain and suffering he's caused. This all slowly maddening him. Gradually, he has these conversations with himself, maybe others, really breaking down what he did. Why? What was it for? I didn't plan on bringing up American History X again, but I just happened to think about this quote as a good way of thinking how this movie could have gone.
Has anything you've done made your life better?
I see it as a blueprint for conversations that could have been had here. Maybe this was for nothing. He had problems and still does. He snapped, and as a result, he got a following of people that he didn't particularly ask for nor wanted. That wasn't his goal. It just happened. He never really believed in anything. Maybe at the time he loved the attention. He loved to be seen and his grievances heard. But after 2+ years locked away, what did it accomplish? Who benefited? What change can he make? What change did he make? Yes, it becomes very nihilistic. However, this is a route Phillips and Phoenix could have gone. And in a way it did anyway. He ends up dead, it was all for nothing, and nothing changed. And by the way, this is not a story of redemption. It is of a man coming to terms with his actions and trying to take responsibility, however possible. If you still want him to be killed by that guy at the end, fine, a consequence of his actions there. And you know what? You could still have a Harley in there manipulating Arthur. While Arthur is fighting within himself, feeling like he's losing control, Harley is there, in his ear, condoning and justifying his past, trying to keep him who she wants him to be. It's a battle of taking responsibility or continuing down a destructive path. So it could kind of be like what they were trying to do in this movie, but better. I don't know, a more intellectual, deeper approach, a more sophisticated fuck you, I guess. Wow, imagine making a movie, a character study, if you will.
A character study.
About a man dealing with his actions. Nah, impossible. We can't explore anything like that in a meaningful and productive way. Do a messy, immature screw you. I guess we needed to see a character we liked, loved, or loved to hate, literally beaten down, raped, mocked, degraded, made a fool, broken, crushed, and humiliated. The hatred in this movie is so strong. There really could have been a mature way of dismantling the first Joker movie. And again, I'm not agreeing with this, but I'm just saying if the goal was to break down Joker as a whole and it be a message to the fans or the studios, this could be a way to do it. It's more annoying than anything. Wasted potential. It just seems childish. This could have been a well thought out lesson. You know, you can insult someone without explicitly saying it, right? Now I know maybe you're thinking, I'm thinking about it too much, and it's not that serious. I know, it really is not that serious, and I'm not intending it to be. It's just something that came into my mind, and I figured I'd share how this could have gone, given the situation and what the writers wanted to accomplish. Believe me, you can always throw in some silly moments, be lighthearted, Bring some levity, but at the very least, when it comes to a sequel, I'd just ask that it be in the spirit of the first, or at least try your hardest, if you really cared to. Want to hear a joke? $200 million spent, 1 to 2 years' time and resources, promotions, interviews, weight loss, trying to forget to sing, and all that for it to bomb and be laughed at. As I've said in my first review, just skip it. Anyway, I'm signing off. I'm done. Thanks for being here.